Book Summary, Edge of Honor, thriller The Scot Harvath series by Brad Thor. In Edge of Honor, Brad Thor delivers another high-octane installment in the long-running Scot Harvath series, blending espionage, political intrigue, and razor-sharp action into thriller that feels all too timely. The story begins as America's top covert operative, Scot Harvath, returns home after 6 grueling months abroad, but instead of brief respite, he walks straight into the most volatile domestic crisis the United States has ever faced. The political landscape has shifted dramatically. New presidential administration has assumed power. One with radically different worldview and reluctance to use American influence on the global stage. The change has sent shockwaves through the intelligence community, leaving Harvath unsure of whom to trust. The East Side is under fire, partnerships are dissolving, and whispers of betrayal are growing louder. His heart attempts to reestablish his footing in this unrecognizable terrain. He's approached by trusted but secretive contact who warns him of an insidious threat growing from within the country. At the heart of the threat is secretive cabal composed of political operatives, financiers, rogue intelligence officers, and global elites, each with their own agendas but united by shared belief. America is in decline, and only radical reordering of power can save it. This network is working methodically to undermine democratic institutions, destabilize the economy, corrupt the judiciary, and manipulate the media. Their goal is not just influence. Its control. As Harvath begins pulling at threads, he uncovers a series of seemingly unrelated events. Cyber attack that cripples regional power grid, the suspicious death of high-level Pentagon official, leaked intelligence dossier filled with disinformation, and failed assassination attempt on foreign diplomat. Each incident, Harvath learns, has been orchestrated by the cabal to incite chaos and erode public trust. Time is running out. The final stage of the plot, coordinated series of false flag operations, is designed to push the country into constitutional crisis and usher in new authoritarian regime under the guise of national salvation. Harvath's pursuit of the truth takes him across continents and into the dark corners of international espionage. From the alleyways of Istanbul to encrypted backchannels in Brussels, he gathers intelligence while dodging traps laid by enemies who always seem to be one step ahead. Along the way, he reconnects with key allies, including Lydia Ryan, former ESI analyst now working independently, and Marcus Duman, tech genius whose skills in surveillance and encryption prove vital. But nothing prepares Harvath for the personal cost of this mission when one of his closest allies is killed in a bombing in Berlin, an attack later blamed on foreign operatives. Harvath knows the cabal is targeting him. They've infiltrated parts of the government, compromised former teammates, and even have influence in the media, framing him as rogue agent. Forced to go dark, Harvath begins working off-grid with skeleton crew of trusted contacts. Every move he makes must be calculated, every conversation secured, every ally vetted. As the nation edges closer to the brink, Harvath learns the identity of one of the cabal's ringleaders, former U.S. intelligence chief who faked his own death years ago. Now operating from fortified estate in South America, this ghost has returned to settle old scores and fulfill his twisted vision of New World Order. Harvath sets out for final confrontation, knowing that if he fails, America's future will be dictated not by elected leaders, but by puppet masters in the shadows. The climax builds to a white-knuckle showdown in Washington, D.C., where Harvath must foil a planned attack during a nationally televised emergency address. The cabal intends to assassinate the president, and key members of Congress then implement martial law under their handpicked successor. With seconds to spare, Harvath thwarts the attack. But not without casualties. The fallout is massive. Resignations, arrests, and shaken nations struggling to comprehend how it came to losing everything. Yet even as justice is served, Harvath remains unsettled. The cabal was larger and more deeply embedded than anyone realized. Some of its members escape, and new factions may rise from its ashes. Harvath's mission may be over for now, but the fight for America's soul continues. Edge of Honor is prescient, explosive thriller that raises urgent questions about truth, loyalty, and the price of freedom. In Scot Harvath, Thor has crafted not just hero, but man reckoning with the shifting definition of patriotism in a world where enemies hide behind familiar faces. With non-stop action and unnerving realism, this novel places readers at the edge of honor and dares them to peer over